How we doing? Welcome back to the channel now. I haven't been around for live streams for the past 3 games now. Just been really busy, but lo and behold, this club, team, institution, whatever you want to call it, never fails to disappoint me once again. Qarabag 2, Chelsea 2 in another absolute dreadful performance against a side that really and truly we should be beating. Let's be honest. With the lineup like that, even with the lineup like that, we made 7 changes today. We should be beating that team. It's Qarabag, with all due respect, the Azerbaijani league. We line up with Sanchez in goal, Cucurella, Hato, Tosin, Reece James, Lavia, Santos, Gittins, João Pedro, Esteval on the right, and Tyreek George up top. Now, initial thoughts, the only one I thought was a little bit funny was George up top, considering that we've got Mark Gayhu there. We've got Delap, who's back. You know, he can play. He's not suspended. Maybe that's because he's being taught a lesson. Rightly so. Maybe because George is taking his opportunity when he has had his opportunity of scoring. So I'm not really overly concerned. I'm looking at that squad thinking, you know what? This team should really be getting something out of this game. I'm not looking at them thinking we're in trouble here. I'm looking at that going, you know what? This is a good enough side. These players are good enough. They should be getting a result against Qarabag. But clearly not. Clearly not. Because there was early signs from the start. I mean, Qarabag started really well, in my opinion. They had their moments. Don't get me wrong. There was some terrible football at times from both sides, but they pressed very high to begin with, and I think that led to what was pretty much the first incident of the game, which was Lavia going down injured very early on in the game. Look, I do feel sorry for Lavia. It's very, very unfortunate. You know, he's just not getting any luck. Continuous injury after injury. And it's a real shame because he's a very good talent when he's on the pitch. The issue that I have now is that he's never on the pitch. We're not getting any consistency out of him. Now, we've had this issue before with Reece James, but for me, Reece James has got credit in the bank. We're not seeing enough from Lavia. We can't judge. We can judge him on some of the performance that he's had. We know that this guy's a good player, but we ain't consistently seen him play for 10 games. We ain't even consistently. I don't even think we've seen him play for 5 games. I don't even think we've seen him play 90 minutes, which is incredible. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel sorry for him, but we can't go on like this. As a football club, we cannot go on like this. We need to strengthen this area. We now need to reinforce that area because, unfortunately, he is unreliable. And don't get me wrong, I want him to be reliable, but we're just not getting it, bro. He's too injury prone. Way too injury. Like first, what 8 minutes was I think that was 8 minutes. Is he not warming up properly? Is he not stretching properly? Is he doing is he overexerting himself in games? Is he running weird? Is is one of his legs longer than the other? I don't understand why he's getting injured so much. Is he just made out of paper? And Enzo has tried to manage his minutes. I get it. He's fragile. But we can't do this, man. We cannot rely on him. We've had to bring Caicedo on, who we're trying to rest for the Premier League. I know Chelsea fans don't want to be like that, and they want to hold on to a player that's good, and they want to show him some sort of loyalty. I get that. I want to show it as well. But you've got to start putting the club forward first, and going, how do we reinforce this now? So the question has to be, who do you get in to reinforce that position? Someone who can play there regularly next to Caicedo. Enzo obviously can play in that position. Whether or not you rate that partnership or not is another question, or whether you prefer Enzo higher up the pitch. Me personally, I prefer Enzo higher up the pitch. So for me, I'm saying I'm not trying to push him out the door. Don't get me wrong. It's one of them ones where, look, We've got to make a signing now. You've got to do your thing to get back to full fitness. And when you're back to full fitness, if that day does happen, God willing, what happens then happens. But for me, we need to reinforce that position. And I'm thinking maybe a Belieber, maybe a Adam Wharton. For me, Wharton, I think, is a fantastic player. I'd like to just have Lavia back, but I can't see it happening. So who would you have? That's the question. Who would you have in that position to reinforce it? But anyway, first 10 minutes of that game, I thought it was pretty sloppy, to be fair. Pretty sloppy game, not really much happening. Not any good football on display. Only up until 16 minutes, which was our goal. That was Esteval with a nice little bit of magic on the right hand side, cutting in on his left, slotting it in near post. That's his 4th goal in 7 games. So he's on a very good run, and he's obviously showcasing what he's bringing to the side already. But then again, literally 10 minutes later, plenty more warning signs against this defense. It seems like, we just cannot cope with any sort of directness from opposition players. Anyone that dribbles at our defense, and we are panicking. When we have to jockey back, we just look like we're panicking all over the place. Any sort of cross running or unselfish runs, these players are just like, shit, what are we doing, man? They're attacking. That's the vibe I get when I see an opposition team come up against our defense. That I'm just looking at these players and they're going, shit, man, what the fuck? We're getting run up on it. 10 minutes later, their pressing, their directness, it pays off. Hato making an absolute hatch of it. I don't know why he's diving in like that. He had an absolute stinker today. Don't know why he dived in like that. That led to the shot. It hit the post, the rebound. Andrade slots it home. I can't blame the goalkeeper. He tried his best in that scenario. What can he do? Cucurella caught sleeping at the back. Wasn't aware of who was behind him. Just jogging back. Not good enough. Really ain't good enough. 1-1. And I'll be honest with you, it was quite embarrassing. Because there was plenty of the way they were getting at us. I was thinking, we're not gonna keep a clean out here, And I don't mean no disrespect to Qarabag. I thought they had a very good game today in moments, like I said. But it just shows how vulnerable we are at the moment with this defense. Once upon a time we was beating this team 6-0. I was putting bets on 6-0 Azpilicueta, and it came in. Once upon a time, and now we're struggling to beat them. We're worried. Obviously, Qarabag have improved since then, but what the fuck? What is going on? Then to top it off, another 10 minutes later, Hato again makes a mistake passing the ball out. Then he has to defend it, and he sticks his arm out, and it's a penalty. Definite penalty. Okay, they were trying to say, he was close to the ball. How can they give that? It's close to the ball. He ain't got time to move his arm. You can't jump like that. It's hit his arm. It's a penalty. We'd be screaming for it. Honestly, at that moment in time, I was giving him a 2 out of 10 for his performance. 2 out of 10. Penalty, slotted home. It's 2-1. And that's the first half, a complete shambles. We looked all over the place. And enough players were putting in stinkers. Hato, Gittins. What was that? João Pedro, not affecting the game anyhow. He just looks like he's strolling around in the middle of the park. He's not really doing anything. He does the little flicks here and there. I'm getting annoyed at his performances now. Yeah, he scored at the weekend. Yay. But I'm starting to get frustrated with what he's doing. The little, not really getting the ball down and doing anything with it. If he gets crowded out, it's done. He struggles. Santos. What the fuck? What was that? Tosin, again, who's been absolutely, this season, terrible. Last season, I was saying he was signing of the season. I thought he was brilliant. On a free, I thought what he added to the team was fantastic. Now, I do understand that he's not at a certain caliber of player. I've always admitted that. But this season, fallen off a cliff. Like, the performances he's putting in are just shambolic. Tyreek George, just completely ineffective. Added, like, all of those players added nothing to the side today. Nothing. So first half, embarrassing. You know, we do have to give Qarabag credit. As I said, I thought they were playing really well. Like I said, in reason as well, there was moments where they had little wobbly moments where they're just kicking the ball out of play. Goalkeeper under pressure and is smashing out of play. Their passing was a little bit off in some moments, but they come at us with intent. There was no fear factor, and I've said this before with this team. There is no fear factor coming up against this squad of players, whether it's all of our players at once or the second team that we're putting out. We're making loads of changes. They see a weakness in us. They look at us and think, you know what? If we give these lot a really good go, we can get at them. And today was another example of that. Like, we scored our goal and just completely switched off. Completely switched off and spanked the place out. So, second half, Maresca's got to do something. He's got to make the subs. So he makes 3 subs. He takes off Gittins for Garnacho. He brings on Delap for George, and then he takes off Andre Santos for Enzo. 3 substitutions that can make a difference, and probably players in our starting 11 that might play at the weekend that he probably doesn't want to bring on. So I can understand the frustration from Enzo Maresca. He's probably thinking, for fuck's sake, guys, I'm relying on you to, play against Qarabag, who we would deem a lesser opposition. And I would look at you and think, you know what, you can make a difference today. You can put in a performance. You can get me 3 points. And they don't. But you know what? Maybe, maybe he's looking at this side thinking, you know what, I'm looking at you thinking, you know what, you're not actually that reliable. If that was me, I'd be looking at some of them going, you're not that reliable. So these players come on now. Now, initially, those subs take. Obviously, when they come on, they're going to need a little bit of time to get into the game, and they did. Qarabag, they played on like the first half straight away, attacking with some intent, making chances, trying to go at us, giving it a good go. But it weren't long after that. Give it about 10 minutes. I think it was 56 minutes, something like that. Then 2 of those subs, instant impact, good link-up play with Delap, lays it off to Garnacho, runs with it, smashes it bottom bins. It's a great finish, by the way. Good goal for Garnacho. I'm happy for him. 2-2. Brilliant finish. But they didn't change much. Still, Qarabag, still going for it. Says a lot about them, their fight to keep going for it. But you know what? That second half, a lot better from Chelsea. We gave it a bit more of a go. We were creating more chances. We were having more shots on target. Shots at goal, on target. There's another story. We had more possession, but we still look vulnerable when it comes back the other way. Every time it comes back the other way, we just look vulnerable. We look so easy to get at. We tried to ramp it up. We put pressure on them. Shots after shot after shot. The Lap had one. Lovely play down the right from Esteval, crossing it across the goal. Was it? That was I'm thinking about one in the first half. Santos sitter, but I remember Delap being played through and him shooting wide. There was one where he was offside. There was Esteval kept taking on his winger, whipping the ball in. There was a shot from Esteval that went over the bar. Enzo had a shot that just went over the bar. Buonanotte had another good shot, nearly top bins. But we just, we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net and couldn't really. Like, I've seen people saying, "Oh, we had our chances. We should have taken them and won the game." No, we weren't good enough. Don't stop with the excuses. We just was not good enough. And Qarabag played very well. The Azerbaijani league, Qarabag played well against Chelsea, and we struggled. That's the facts. So I'm not even going to do like player ratings. I'm not going to go through them all, because at the end of the day, I just don't think it was good enough. Shout out Esteval. I think he played very well. I thought he caused problems for them all game. Played his heart out. Sanchez, it would be hard to blame him for anything. You know, when he was called upon, he did what he needed to do. Penalty, dived the wrong way. You know, it's a lottery at the end of the day. Claimed the crosses when he had to. Distribution was a little bit. Other than that, how can you, like, you know, can't blame him. I thought Garnacho come on, done well, and then after that, frustrating. Thought Enzo came on, thought he was shit. Overplaying, overcomplicating things without the execution. Trying to do too much. It's just like not good enough from the players and even the manager. Now let's talk about Enzo Maresca, because people don't like to talk about Enzo Maresca for some reason. Well done on the subs, because they had an instant impact, you know, and we can't blame you for the stinker that Hato put in. That's not your fault. You can't blame him for all them individual errors. Sorry, but you know, we've got a lot of fans now saying Achampong should have started, Mark Gui or Delap should have started. For me, that's all in hindsight. It's easy to do that after the game. People moaning, oh, Achampong was rested at the weekend. Why can't he get a game? He's allowed to tinker with this team and play these players and rely on them. We should be able to expect those two centre-backs to put in a good shift and not think that Achampong is going to be the reason why we win the game. We should just be able to rely on them two centre-backs. Just ain't good enough. And for me, my major concern with everything right now is that there's a clear mentality issue at the moment. And I've said it in my previous streams, yeah, there's a clear mentality issue against teams that we should be beating. We seem to get ourselves up for it against teams that, you know, we might find it a bit difficult. When we should be beating a shit Manchester United team, couldn't get up for it. Red card straight away, then couldn't get up for it. You know what I'm saying? A Sunderland team that have just come up. Yeah, they're flying at the moment, but we should be looking at them going, you've just come up. We're going to batter you. But no, we struggle. A Brentford team loses all their players, even their fucking manager, who's done wonders for them. We struggle. Then Qarabag. We struggle. You know? Teams that we should be looking at going, we're going to get 3 points here. And people just make loads of excuses. Like, we just lack consistency and we're terrible at defending. It's not just defense. It's in general. Defending in general. Now, for me, he gets paid to find that solution, to sort that out. And nothing's getting sorted. So, you know, I'm bored of hearing Chelsea fans making all these excuses. Oh, we didn't get a centre-back. Oh, we've got injuries. Oh, there's red cards. Oh, Lavia went down in the first 8 minutes and that changed our whole game plan. Fuck off. I'm bored of it. The manager needs to find a solution to these problems and how we have been playing, because we've been shit all season. Let's be honest. Games like Liverpool against a poor Liverpool team, games against Spurs, who have been poor, are glossing over the football that we've been playing all season. Now, you can blame the injuries. We ain't got our full squad. But he's paid to find a solution and get us playing. Change the way you play if it ain't working. Switch something up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and like, we get fans that refuse to say anything about the manager like it's blasphemy, like he is Chelsea Football Club. And they need to, you know, take a look at themselves and ask themselves, do you support this manager or do you support Chelsea Football Club? Because some of these things should be getting called out instead of us posting up our results of, you know, in the last X amount of games, we haven't lost. So it's all good and it's all rosy. So why don't you post that result today against Qarabag? Get that list up, post that result on it, and show us how proud you are to draw against Qarabag from the Azerbaijani league. Or they'll be going, oh, look, you know, out of all them games, we've lost them games. And there was how many red cards in there? Just, I don't want to hear it. Like I said, post that result, Show me how proud you are to have drawn that game and not lost it. Post it. You know? Because honestly, it's just not good enough. And the warning signs are there. And they've been there for the whole season so far. Even when we've been getting results. Now, the complex that I'm in at the moment is that there's also a lot of positive signs. There's a lot of positive signs with the players. There's a lot of positive signs with the manager. Don't get me wrong. This is not an Enzo Maresca bashing. Well, it is, but you know what I'm saying? It's not all focused on him. It's not an Enzo Maresca, you need to fuck off moment. It's just calling it how it is. He needs to find a solution to this. Because it's just, we're going to find ourselves, for me, we're kind of at that middle point of where we need to be. It looks, the warning signs are there that it could go that way, but there's positive signs that it could also go that way. And maybe I've just hit the nail on the head. Maybe we're at the halfway point of to where we need to be. I don't know, because I don't know. Like, well, who knows? Who knows what Chelsea is going to turn up? I can't tell you. I really don't know. And every single game we come up against, I don't know what we're going to get. We play Wolves this weekend. They'll have a new manager. It's at 8 o'clock on a Saturday. It's at home, Stamford Bridge, which, you know, hasn't exactly been a fortress, has it? So, am I looking forward to it? I guess so, because it's just something to do. But, you know, I can't tell you with confidence that we're going to get, you know, like we're going to slap them up. I can't sit here and go, yeah, we're going to slap them. It's Wolves, bottom of the league. Going to batter them. Played them last week, went 3-0 up, just about won the game. So, don't know what to expect. Really don't know what to expect. But hopefully, this time, I'm going to be on that live stream. So, I'll have to catch you then. I've said enough in a bit. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and the sub button. We're only 6 off of 200 or something. So let's get this channel growing. Let me know what you think in the comment. Let me know what you think about that game. Let me know what you think of Enzo Maresca and what I've been saying. Do you agree, or should we all just be rosy and say, yes, he's won us the Europa Conference League. Yes, he's won us the Club World Cup, so we can't say nothing about him and his tactics and you know how we're setting up. Because online I get a lot of stick for just complaining about how we're playing. If I complain about the manager, they think, you're negative towards the manager. No, I just call it how it is. I judge his performance by the game, like I judge the players by the game. If a player has 5 stinkers in a row, that player's in the doghouse. If Enzo Maresca has 5 stinkers in a row, he's in the doghouse. For me, this result today is a little bit of both. A little bit of both. And the only way I can say a little bit of both for Enzo Maresca is because the same shit keeps happening. The same shit keeps happening. Like I said, I can't blame him for them individual mistakes. I can't blame him for the stinkers on that pitch and then players keep happening. But I can blame him for how he sets us up. And I can blame him for the fact that we've got no solution to this defensive issues that we've got. And we can't keep making excuses because he's paid to do that job. And people seem to forget this. So that's just what I want to see. So I want to go into that Wolves game and I just want to see an improvement. We've got to play better than what we played today, definitely. And to be honest, we've got to get a result. We have to. In a bit.